Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are taking a look at a truck that is in beta. It is Faster Modding's Dina 800 / International Transtar 4300. Wow, that's a mouthful. We're going to do a little build and drive with it. Again, some things to note. It is in beta. To my knowledge, I don't believe it's available. This is kind of a pre-release right now. And I think some other developers are giving their feedback too, so everything can be fine-tuned before the release. I don't have any sort of idea on when this release is planned. At this point, just going to go through, give my 2 cents on it. Again, it's a build and drive. I do need to mention one thing just up front. This truck was given to me. I did not pay for it, although it will be a pay-where vehicle. That being said, I will have my own opinions. I'm not swayed anyway. So all of the good, the bad, the ugly, all the in-between and everything is what we're going to be covering today as we go through these build options and then take a short drive. Timestamps are available down in the description. As always, feel free to move about the cabin. And so basically, I'm going to go through the build options. I'm going to give you my honest feedback, mainly on the options and how everything goes. As kind of a summary, your mileage may vary, but it's been broken down into 2 categories. I really have like 2 things that I really want to see just tweaked a little bit before release, again, in my opinion. And then, as always, there are a lot of little things that could be added. They don't even have to be added at release. They can be done with updates, and again, your mileage may vary based on your opinion. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get into the build options. Okay, so when we start off here with the, I guess we're set up as the International Transtar. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cabs. This is set up right now with the flat top by default. We can always do the Eagle. That is a crazy sleeper. Not very aerodynamic, I wouldn't think, but that's pretty cool. A lot of room in there, I'm sure. We also have the day cab option if you want to go that route. We can put a Mercury sleeper on here. The only thing that I see available, like when I click into the accessories, I don't see any other specific nodes for touching up the Mercury sleeper itself. So it just is going to come in that chrome. And then, of course, we could also do the modular if that is more to your liking and the flat top is a little bit too big. So options there. As far as the chassis goes, we have different chassis for different bodies. So here we see the one that's kind of in the middle. We see the longer version. But if we wanted to go to the day cab, for example, and go back to the chassis, we only have this medium or shorter version. So you're only going to get the longer version with some of them. If we go onto the Eagle or the Mercury, you're going to get the longer version as an option. And it just kind of makes sense to give you a little bit of space there because you've got some sort of sleeper on there. Something to keep in mind. Let's start with the accessories on the outside. And one of the things I want to point out right off the bat has to do with these headlights. And you might miss this, so that's why I want to point it out first. If we go ahead and take a look at these headlights, we have a few different options here. We've got the standard, we've got the LED. We have another standard. These need to be labeled different so that they're both not standard. Here's the 2 standards right here. One. So basically one has the little eyelids over it. And then you have more of your rectangular ones. Here's one. And here's one with the eyelids on it. We have the eyelids also in LED and LED with the eyelids. And you might be thinking, that's really cool to have all those light options, but those actually aren't all of the options, because if we leave it right there and we click on hood, we also have a few other options, and to my knowledge, what I've seen so far is this only changes the headlights. So if we go ahead and click on this other option, we get stacks of them. Same thing here, and then we'll get a rounded one. No matter which one you pick from these headlights, you will get those 3 different variations of it. So if I want to go ahead and click in here on the, did I choose the headlights? Headlights. So interesting too is now these options have been labeled differently. They're duty 1, duty 2 exclusive. When we went back to the hood option and we just chose this first option, we had different labels, I believe. Now these are standard. So that little bit of misalignment, these all need to be systematic in their labeling is one of the things I would say. But cool, so many options, whether you want to go with the standard, whether you want to go with the rectangular ones. So we go to the standard ones and we'll go back to the hood and we'll see that we get that stack sitting there. And I actually like this look, these rounded ones, probably more of an older model is what I would say. So that's something to keep in mind. Don't just go to the headlight node, also check on the hood. And note that the hood doesn't actually change. You're just getting some more variations for what you've already picked for those headlights. All right, let's go ahead and move on to bumpers because we have quite a few. And a lot of these, it's a common theme you're going to see through this is the labeling needs to be tightened up. I need to be able to more accurately see a description. I understand sometimes you're just going to have Chrome 1, Chrome 2, Chrome 3. I get it, but then there's bumper chrome. That doesn't tell me anything different necessarily versus custom. But let's just go through a few of these right now because there are quite a few. The bull bar is one. Then we have a bumper in black, bumper 2 in black, and it kind of just disappears there. Bumper 3 in chrome, bumper 5 chrome. This one also says bumper 5 chrome, but it gives you something different. And here you've got your regular stuff that you can put on it. You can put some lights on it. You could also put in all the license plates that you want. These are in alphabetical order, so some of these there are other license plates that are down below. But there are tons of different options depending on all of the different light packs and accessory packs that you have going on there. But let's get back to the bumpers so we can go through the rest of them. Bumper 6 chrome, bumper 7 chrome, bumper 8 chrome. So that looks like a little bit more full. It seems like with this one, it seems like stuff is missing. That's just kind of my original feel. Bumper 8 chrome is really nice and complete. I'd love to get some light nodes for this version. Bumper chrome. So we do have options here, but the bumper changed out. Bumper 2 chrome, bumper 3 chrome, bumper custom, bumper 4. So I don't know how easy it is to be able to fix these, to put them in order. Seems like kind of out of order here, but at the very least, I'd like to see some consistent labeling so that I have a little bit better idea of what I'm picking on and I don't have to click through each one. That really helps also with my reviews because if I see things are categorized by paint, chrome, then I can say, oh, well, here's your 6 variations, comes in black, comes in chrome. Makes it a lot simpler rather than just clicking through each one. We do have quite a few options with the grill as well, and I actually like these options. That's one that's one of my favorites right there, that standard chrome. Not to be confused with the other standard chrome and the other standard chrome. Then we go on to chrome 1, like that one. Chrome 2, interesting. Chrome 3. So quite a few options for the grill. Bug deflector. So this is kind of cool. This one is a solid black. So it looks like you can see through it a little bit. When you get it on the road, it's really hard to see through it. It almost seems like it's completely opaque. Bug shield in blue. It is cool that it has all these different colors, green and red. Not bad. I would like to see one that's probably like a clear glass. That's probably a little bit more realistic, even though a lot of people like to kind of spice it up with their own colors. We do have options for front mirrors on these on both sides. Where's the other one? There it is. If you want to go ahead and put those hood mirrors on. And I'll show you what that looks like inside. We'll just leave them on so by the time we get to the inside, they'll still be there. This actually refers to something on the inside, so we're going to ignore that for now. Front turn light. And we can do our standard ones. I'll show you what the light looks like. They don't really illuminate or change right now, but these other ones do. These are a little bit more like, I would say a little bit more traditional, and these actually have a little bit of light to them. Hard to see. But with this bumper, we also have lights here on these guards. Or these guides, should I say. Moving up to the top, we have, we can see that on the inside. Sun visor. So a couple things here. These are both labeled sun visor. I think it's this one on the left that's actually going to be the one that we see on the outside. So you do have one of these larger ones in chrome. I don't believe you have the larger one in paint. If you go to the paint, then it has this shape. And then it has more of a standard one in paint, which is fine. This other one is the actual visors on the inside of the truck, and we'll get to that when we're doing the interior. Cabin lights, of course. Standard options, you got slots here, and all your light packs that you can pick from. Horns. We do have just one standard horn. If you wanted to be able to customize that, might be an option for an update, but pretty standard. Looks good. This other one is the actual interior light. This mod does have an interior light. You can get it in blue, cyan, green, orange, purple, red, and yellow. So lots of different options. For the most part, I usually just choose that basic orange one. And if you go to the inside here real quick, you'll be able to see that they're put up there. I believe those change. You know what? Let me just stay in here. Give you a quick preview. That's how you can get to it. If I change it to green, what happens? Yep, they change. Pretty cool. Okay, staying on the outside here. We do have a side logo, and there's tons of logos because this is essentially combining two trucks into one. Both the Dina 800, the Dina is a Mexican company, and the international Transtar is, I believe it's U.S. based, but something that you see more in the upper states versus in South America, I believe parts of Mexico too, you'll see the Dina a little bit more present. And from what I understand, they're more or less similar, except that the Dina 800 typically is seen more as like a medium duty, whereas the International Transtar, you'll see some bigger engines in it. It's more rated for heavy duty and long haul stuff. So it just comes down to the usage for it. So let's go through all these different logos. So we get what happens on the front and what happens on the side. So there's the Dina 800. It's another Dina 800 logo. So it changes and gives you that actual logo. Dina 861. I don't know what the 861 is personally. Is that a different model, I would assume? So we're just changing the badging at this point. We're not changing any actual options. And this is the one with the logo. Boom, there it is. Then we switch back to the Transtar, so we'll see International on the side, Transtar 4300. Then we have the last one, which is the Eagle, which will get another badge closer to the door. We get that badge right there. And that is what it looks like up close. There is actually some sort of cool reflection going on there, so it's not just a solid color. Nice little touch. All right, then we are moving on to the front mud flaps. And we'll see, I believe it's set up with it's set up with International right now. There's another International Navistar. There's another mud flap. And then we have a couple options for the Dina. There's one of them in black, and this one should be in white then. Yeah, that one's in white. So a couple options for that front mud flap. Doesn't look like we have an option to be able to see the engine or change the engine. Looks like maybe there's a cat in there, looking at the color. Door steps. Got a lot of options here. Again, labeling could use a little bit, a little bit more descriptive. That being said, I'm just going to go through and show you the different options here. There's a lot of cool options, and it looks like higher detail. I really like these. There is one paint version, I believe, in here too. The retro is one of my favorites, probably. And I believe... Is this? Yeah, it does have a retro in paint. That's right here. So you can get everything in paint too. And one more option, it says none. So we can actually make it disappear, and it'll just put steps on your tank. We're going to go ahead and leave these with the retro for right now, so that we can actually look at options for the tank. And right now, it looks like there's only just one. I seem to remember that if I picked something else, we may have gotten other tank options. Maybe I'm lying. I thought there were other tank options with colors. Maybe there's only just one. Yep, there we go. For some reason, when you click on the chrome ones, Escalon Chrome, whether you want whatever texture you want on there, you do actually get a couple different options. It would be nice if we could see these tank options available with every single step, because as we change them, the actual width of them or the length of them from here to here doesn't change any, so it shouldn't have any impact. Not that it should change anyway, because you don't have variations in tank sizes. You just have options of chrome, aluminum, and paint. Of course, I would like to see a few different sizes on these, and maybe an option later on for the different paint straps. That would be cool. That's extra. Doesn't have to be done now, and it can always be done as an update, and it's obviously to taste. No beacons. I would really like to see some beacons here, either up here or up here, depending on, maybe it's easier to just put it on the truck or to have them stick off the side here. That way you don't have to do it for every all the different sleepers, plus you would still have an option for the day cab. Then we go on to cab panels. Cab panels are pretty straightforward. We get 5 lights across here. If you're running the day cab, obviously you don't get these lights, but kind of cool that you get these up here. I didn't check this. I need to see, do I have any option for beacons here? I do. Okay, so there's your beacon options right there. If you have, so I'm also running the lights from Moisa, and I'm running it from EMT Mods. So whatever sort of light packs you have, if you have KI Shadow Walker, you can probably get some beacons in here. Let me go ahead and fully type that. Okay, so I just have beacons because I have the light pack from EMT Mods. And what is happening here? Blue, orange, red. What's going on? It just comes through as a light, but they do flash like beacons. So we do have some options. Would be nice to have something native though, but mainly the cab panels are just going to be along the sleeper and along the driver and passenger side door. So cabin rear, and this is pretty universal. You get a reverse light that comes with it, and depending on what you have, it will change. I believe there's just one light if you do the day cab right on the back, and I think maybe you might get some other options if you have different sleepers. Let's take a look at the flat top real fast, and then we'll go back and see what we have in terms of the rear cabin. Might just be the one light. Nope. So pretty much when you get a sleeper, you'll have them on both sides. Day cab is one in the middle. Exhaust. Oh my God. Tons and tons of options here. So let's just go through them real quick. Essentially what we're doing is we're talking each one of these, 3, 4, 5, these are the different shapes. Then coming down here, you'll also have options for the singles, but you'll also have thicker, I believe some of them. So these just look like different shapes for double. Let's just go ahead and click on this one right here. So we get the double there. Okay, it is 8-inch. So we do have the different sizes. So we've got different sizes. We've got, I believe we have some that have the heat shields as well. There we go. So size of the pipe, heat shield or no heat shield, different ends on these. So this one is just like the straight pipe. So I believe there's even other options actually on the day cap. See how these are set like beside the main cab. If we go over and we choose a day cab, I believe that some of our options that we have for these exhaust actually indent. So, well, let's do this too. I think it's just the one light. Yeah, you just get the one light on the day cab. And then for the exhaust, let's see, I think it's some options up here. We'll see these actually move in closer. There we go. And we'll have those shapes too. So you do it slightly different options. Obviously, if you have a sleeper, you don't have this option, but it's kind of cool that they allowed for this option when you don't have a sleeper. Or you can always move down here and then the pipes move back out again. Again, heat shield, no heat shield, different size, Go all the way down here. Where are some of the other ones? I thought we had... Yep. Then we get into the 8-inch ones. And you'll go through the 8-inch ones in all the different styles. So really cool. Tons of options on the exhaust. Absolutely nailed that. Tanks, cab panels we've already done. Do we have any more options? I think we have some options if we go over here. Yep. A couple others just changed. We can go with the chassis and paint or the chassis in black. Nice touch. And we also have options for trailer cables, though I would like to see some more options. I'd like to see like the standard stand. It looks like we just have this right here, or is it in the back? No, it's right here. And then the other option is more of it's built into the decking. But would like to see some traditional stand. Would be cool. That's usually like a standard. Lots of options here on the mud guards. Let's just go through them right now. You got quarter, you got half, you got full, you got Dina, you got international. Tons of different combinations. Always like to see these details. And for that one actually changed the mud flaps on the back as opposed to this one right above, where you go with, it didn't have the weights, or you get a second set of them. Maybe that needs to be corrected a little bit. You don't need 2 sets of them. Oh, so that's what you could do. If you wanted to go up here and have them attached to there, then you would just choose this mud flap and just get rid of it. So, eating my words there. A lot of good options here. So we'll go back here and look at, there was only one more option on the fenders, but lots of cool options that you can customize. It would be nice to have a couple in paint. I believe these are all mostly chrome, but that would be a relatively simple update, I would think. So we'll just go ahead and go back to these mud flaps on the back, because there are quite a few options with the Dyna as well as with the International Navistar. Back to a few more options with the Dyna. It'd be nice if those were kind of put in line with them, but not necessary, because we're kind of going back and forth between them. There we go. Oh, clicked off of it. We have a few more options. Yep, that's it. That pretty much does the outside. I don't believe that I missed any nodes. Some of them you have to take a different angle. But lots of cool options on the outside. What would I like to see on the outside? This is being nitpicky. I've already mentioned that I think the names for all these options need to be a little bit more systematic and easier to see at a glance. Some of them are. Some of these options, especially when we were doing Chrome options, it was like Chrome 1, Chrome 2, Chrome 3, and then it was labeled 1, 2, and 3 again. Those need to be tightened up so we can see at a glance what we're getting. I'd like to see a little bit more options on the tanks. Lights, bumpers, fenders, exhaust, absolutely killing it. Love the options with the logos. Love the options with the lights. And again, don't forget, the hood gives you more light options based on what you've picked for these headlight options. Would like to see some native beacons. And if possible, maybe some headache racks. I don't know. Just a few options there. So that's the outside. In terms of skins, we get one that is custom, and I would like to see some more. I don't know. What's the standard? 3, 4, 5. Just give me a few options instead of just the one. These are just the solid colors, of course. But it is cool that we can change all these different colors. So we can make this gray, turn it into a white, turn that into a green, and turn this pink maybe into something like that. Maybe more in line with my colors. So really cool that you can do that. Let's take a look at the interior options. So right off the top, I have to say this viewpoint, I'm locked in too high and I can't see anything below that. That's one of the other things, aside from how the labels are. I would like to see that cleaned up. I would like to be able to see the perspective so I can actually see what's going on the floor a little bit better, because not this portion, but you can see right down there, right in the center where my mouse is, That is the actual floor, and there is an option for the floor, but you can only see it right there. So you don't get to see enough of it when you're picking it. I'm just up too high, and it's just not necessary. I want to be able to see more stuff down below. There's a lot of cool details here. But what I'm going to be doing is going to be affecting this main portion right here. We could do this interior duty flat top or the interior exclusive flat top, and it changes it all to black. I'm probably going to go with the black, to be honest. And then we have our interior accessories. Again, we do have an option. Where is it? Somewhere here. I think this is for the floor. Yeah, for the carpet. Might just want to say floor because some of these look like they're wood. I'll just click through. You have to be looking in this area right here. Got a little darker. Looks like something with the texture, darker texture, different color texture. Really, maybe just like a black. Again, I would like to be able to see this. So the two things, please lower the perspective when we're inside and building it, especially so we can see the floor, since we have a node for it, which is really cool, and lots of options. And options over here, maybe clean them up a little bit more so that they say carpet or wood or the actual color that they are. Shifter options. We've got our, I would like to be able to tilt down and see it a little bit better, but basically what we're dealing with here is just an 18 speed. We see we have the gray splitter knob right there. Another Eaton Fuller 18 speed just comes in a different form, and then in another one, and we've got the lines coming off of it right there. So it's basically just a taller version. I think that this shorter version also has those blue and green, but I can't see because I can't really tilt down. This was an option that was coming. Basically, these are your floor mats. Transtar 2, Transtar 1, and Dina. Nice touch. We don't have any options for the seats. It would be kind of cool to be able to match that, especially when we are over here working with, what knob? Is it the dash? This might be the actual dash here. Nope. So we can customize this to black, brown, red, and white. It would be nice to be able to customize the seat. You don't have to go with different styles, but maybe just different colors to match what is going on in here. I think we'll probably just go back to black right now. It's nice and neutral. Antennas, you can see this from the outside, and you can change it from the outside as well. It's just a really thin antenna. Nothing crazy, which is really right up my alley. I don't like the crazy ones that are coming in. They're like 3 gauge or 2 gauge. They're so thick and they're aiming forward. I like to build more duty trucks, so your mileage may vary on that. So that's what we have. Mirror options. We've got this one, and I believe, so this one has a light on the outside, and there's one without the light. So the mirrors don't change. It's a little bit behind here. It's a little bit harder to see as we get in the truck and do a drive, but you can lean forward. They're really big, so they're actually very easy to see despite that. We just had our internal light. We already set that to green earlier. Radio options. Radio options. So we do have options up here in white, in black, and in red. And a really cool option, if we tilt down, we'll see that there is one that says red down, and it appears down there. And that is a really cool thing. In fact, actually, what's happening here, this is more like an actual radio. Okay, here we go. So you have the you have a CB in red. You have a CB in red down below. Okay, it's labeled CB. That was my fault. And then Pioneer, black and white. It would be really cool to have a CB in some other colors down here. I really like that placement. Oh, you even get, yeah. That was pretty cool. I didn't notice that that was there in addition to the main CB unit. So put some more color options. Again, that can be in an update. Really cool that we're getting options down below and up top. What might be even better is if we could get a radio up here and a CB down here. So we can get both radio and CB. Interior trim, let's go ahead and take a look at the options. And this is basically going to be your dash plate here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So quite a few different options. I would like to see options for the gauge bezels. Currently they're not showing, and we only have one option on the steering wheel regardless of whether you have any steering wheel packs. Interior trim we already did. GPS, we have it in one spot. It's really not in the way. You do have to lean a little bit to the right to see that, so it would be kind of cool if we have options for different corners, but still comes native with a GPS. Anytime someone does that, I am a fan. Console items, of course, if you want to go ahead and throw those in to your liking. And apart from that, so we can see we've already put up these hood mirrors. That's what they, nice and big, good visibility. Now we can see if we can change these. Red, green, blue, and this black one, it's so much more opaque. You really can't see a whole lot through them. But again, I would like to see one in like a clear glass. I think that pretty much wraps up all of the options on the interior. Not a ton of options on the interior, but it's looking good. And as we get in to take a drive, you'll see that some of these things are actually animated. The wipers are animated. The Jake is actually over here. Lights and things like that. We all have automated switches. I believe this one is for locking the differential. So real quick, let's go back in so I can show you these interior visors. Something that I totally messed up on before. But if we go up here, see, we've got radio, sun visor. Okay, I think these are for the outside ones, but over here is the sun visor for the interior. And we have all different colors. Here's black too, and these are actually folded down, so these are actually functional. Brown up, brown down. That's how I would label these, by the way. Red up, red down, white up, white down. And we actually also have this option that I missed. It's the glass accessory. Here's decal number 1. Doesn't look like it did much, but decal number 2 has that, and that's going to work for some people. Decal 3 is actually something that I'm thinking about doing. It looks more like that natural fade that you would get. It is an actual visor though, but it does block quite a bit of the sun. You probably wouldn't need to have these up or down if you have that on there. I'm probably just going to leave it with one. See, if I go to get rid of this, I don't think much changes. So this number 1 decal, you know what? Let me try something. Sun visor, let me go to the version where it's up. Now let me try to see if I can see more of it. Here's without it. Here's with it. What is changing? What am I missing? Are we getting cracks on the windshield? Is that what's different? Yes, we're getting cracks. That's what is happening. Decal number 1, label it windshield cracks. Check it out. I'll watch in this area here, and I believe maybe in this area here too. I'll click it right now. Okay, right here. Right here, there's a little speck. It's not on that blue pole. And right here, we actually have windshield cracks. Wow. I'm going to get rid of it. I'll hit the X. This will disappear, and that little flake right there will disappear. 1, 2, and 3. So, decal 1, label it cracked glass. That would be absolutely perfect. Another cool option that I missed. So that's all the options for the interior and the exterior. You kind of have my final thoughts on what I think should be upgraded. The two things before release, proper labels that are a little bit more accurate so I don't have to click on each one. And this perspective, it needs to be I need to be sitting, it probably doesn't need to be tilted lower. I just need to, like right there, I'm starting too high. I need to start lower in the seat, then I'll be able to see a lot more of those options. So, and the other stuff is just extra stuff that varies by opinion and can be done later upon updates. So all the options for the Dyna 800 / International Transtar 4300 from Faster Modding. Let's go ahead and take a short drive. All right, so we have our load on here, and this is basically how I've built it out. I built it out as a day cab, personally, on this one. We're going with the International 4300 as opposed to the Dyna 800 right now. You see the bumper. I really like these kick plates, these swing plates. I didn't bother to put any lights on it as of right now. But we've got American flag, Cummins, and a California license plate, which, of course, the badging, of course, is the Eagle version. Tanks, I just went with I believe that's the exclusive. And we got because I got that exclusive, I was able to have the 3 options of chrome, aluminum, or paint for the tanks, and I did paint for them. The wheels are Smarties on the truck. Just went with something a little bit different, and I made it the same color, same kind of light cream color as the truck. So we have our cables, and kind of a different type of stand where you plug them in. Again, I would like to see more of a traditional stand. That's usually how I like it. And we pretty much matched the trailer with the same colors, modified it a little bit from the last time. And we've got our gas generator up there. We've got mitered 6-inch with the exhaust with the covers on them. And that's pretty much the way we're going to be rolling out of here. We'll get a little bit more view as we get down the road. Let's go ahead and get her started. Lights are on, and get the windows down. As typical, I did a little bit of research, and it turns out I saw a lot of Cummins engines, specifically Big Cams, 855. So we actually have a Big Cam in here. I believe it's actually a 444, and this is SlavJerry's version from his Big Cam collection. So 444 horsepower, and we actually have I saw a couple different variations. And where I go to see all the different variations, see how these are actually built, is actually, I believe it's a for sale / auction site called Truck Paper. And I saw 3 variations. 2 of them were 9 speeds, and 1 of them was a 13 speed. And I might see more like a 9 speed, maybe when we're talking about a medium duty with the Dyna 800. I still stuck with the 9 speed. It's basically an 8+1. So you just have the 1 low gear, no splitter, and that's pretty much where we are. We'll get the headlights on, get our 4-ways on, and something you're going to notice right off the bat is that every time I press and release the brakes, you hear this sound. I don't know what that's about, but I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that may have been also on Moisa mods. I don't remember. So yeah, every time I come off the brake, it does that. Is it just like a warning, like, hey, I'm taking off, pay attention? I don't know. Maybe that's a real thing, maybe it's not. Take a look up here, the wipers. I'm going to go ahead and put it to stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. All are animated and coming down as well. The Jake is there on the left, and it is automated. We have the different stages to them. Do we? There we go. So I have a trigger here set up to go through each one of the stages. 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Those are labeled with the one on the right. And this is my just go-to to stage 3. So that's why we see that. Okay, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. Some more animations. Let me shut it down. The key does move. You can see it through the steering wheel there to shut it down. So key does work. We have those animations. What do we have going on here? Fog lights and other lights. I'm going to hit the lights again and see what changes there. There's parking, that switch on the left, and then that switch right. So that switch goes down. Look to the left, see the parking. Those two, what are they called? They flip up and the lights come on. And then the 3rd stage is that on the right, that toggle on the right. So a lot of cool animations here. I really like the way the dash is showing the hazard lights or your turn signals in green, and it looks like an older style. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure what some of the other buttons, some of the other red ones do. Is that Jake? No, it's not Jake. I don't know. Is it parking brake? By the way, the parking brake knobs move as well. There we go. We have a red light on the to the left of the farthest gauge on the left. And if I take that off, the light extinguishes. Maybe the rest are for some sort of like battery warning or low air or something like that. But lots of cool different animations going on. We got the brakes off. We got the four ways on. Track IR is on. And we'll go ahead and get out of here. Love the load there, that gas generator. Yeah, I'm a fan of the day cab. That's why I set it up like this. But you guys may have your different cabs that you like. That's why it's so cool that we have a lot of options. Probably go out a little bit wider, so we don't actually run. Oh, we're probably going to run into it. I'm just trying to make this a little bit more cinematic, and I'm screwing it up. See, I hit the brake, and I let off the brake, and we get that sound again. Anyone can tell me what that is? Is that useful? Is it realistic?
100 yards, turn right, turn right.
Not a bad-looking truck at all. Not a bad-looking truck. All right, we're already on the street. I thought we had a longer driveway. Sorry, car. See, I've got the black little bug guard on, and you can't see like anything through it. You can only see through it when you're in the actual shop. So being able to have that be a little bit more accurate to what we see here in the real world, this basically just looks completely opaque. On and off the brake.
Hey, what's that sound?
Anything coming? Don't know. Get the lights there. We see something going on in the fender.
100 yards, turn right.
I don't know if that's realistic or not.
Turn right.
Get those four ways off because we're turning right. So what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. Lots of good build options, especially on the outside. We could have a few more on the inside. I'm more of a guy that likes to run it on the inside myself. But I'm not unhappy at all. I love all the animations on the inside. Few extra options on the outside wouldn't be bad. But again, most of those, I would reserve them for updates. It wouldn't impact my decision to purchase this. I wonder if we have, I wonder if those window knobs actually animate. Yes, they do. That's pretty cool. So lots of good detail in here. I can see the gauge is really clear. All the different lights, all the different animations. Mirrors are huge. Great visibility. See, you got that bar. But even though you got that bar, you can just lean forward just a bit and you can see for days. Lots of good visibility. Big fan of that. One thing I am going to point out, and it's something that I'm sure could be fixed very easily. I have gauges here on my dashboard that are calibrated, and I'm running right now at about 1400 RPMs, and it's only showing about 12. So if I go up to see if we can get through this light. If I go up to a shift point, I'm about 1800 right here, and it's only reading 1500 in the truck. The tach or sorry, that's for the tack. The speedometer is pretty much on. I'm just going to go through this red light because I'm just trying to show you the RPMs and all that kind of stuff. We don't need to be sitting through lights. Take a little bit of a hit. Yeah, we'll just keep on going. As we get her up to speed here, just going to look at... A few more horn options would be good. It's one of the... I don't know. It's just kind of a basic ATS horn. I'd like to see a couple different options. But other than that, like, I'm nitpicking with a lot of this stuff. I really am. Oh, by the way, it shows your gear there to the right of the steering wheel in nice big letters. Pretty cool. But yeah, interior, I am liking it a lot. I thought at first that there was something wrong with the physics and that it was wobbling. It really isn't. It was actually my fault. I actually still had an older physics mod in there, and I had tweaked some of the settings for the truck stability, trailer stability and stuff. Once I put those back to like standard places and I took out that physics mod, doing a lot better. Truck is very stable, even on the corners. Go up rooftop. This is kind of cool. Normally we're much higher above the truck. We can actually see down into the cab, see us driving. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's slowing down to 50. Isn't that SlavJerry Jake going? So I do have some room to pivot, but it's acting a little bit weird. I can look to the left, but I cannot look to the right. It only rotates to the right. I can look up, I can look down, so for whatever reason I can't turn to the right with this. So the pivot cam does kind of work. Maybe it needs a little bit more compliance. Kind of cool to be able to look down in the cab, because normally you're probably like 5 feet higher than the cab. I can still see the scenery just fine. Running PNG base and weather, by the way. Get out and see a little bit more as we're going through these hills here. Running a little low on the tack and running into that Cascadia. I think it'll be okay though. Running up around. So yeah, my gauge is showing 47 miles an hour. That feedback from the route advisor showing 47, 48, and that is pretty much what we're showing inside the truck too. It's just the tack that needs to be changed a little bit. Looks like it's more around 1200 RPMs, and I'm sitting up around 1450 to 1500 RPMs. So it's a little bit on the low side, which if you're relying on the tack for shift points and not doing it through sound, then that's going to throw you off a little bit. I was like, how is this working? Do I need to rev this thing up like one of those Detroit, like an 8V or a 6V, where you got to crank it up above 2,000 RPMs? And it was only getting up to 15, and I'm hearing it, and I'm going, this is where I need to change gears. I look down at my gauge, and it's actually up at 1850. So the tack is a little off. That could be changed before release. Something to keep in mind. Overall, I'm really pleased with this, and I'm not just saying it because the truck was kind of gifted to me in this beta version. Very happy that Faster Modding allowed me to kind of put it through its paces, see all the different build options with you, and I'm definitely going to be giving him a donation for it, for sure. And I'm going to be looking at some of his other trucks as well. So we're pretty much maxed out at around low 60s is basically what we've got. Get the cruise control going. I believe we have a 3.55 differential in here, but we have higher gears. I think the first ratio starts in the 14s, so we don't end up getting a whole lot of speed What was our weight? Do you guys remember? 30,000 pounds? 38,000 pounds on this gas generator, so that's not a lot of weight. It really is just how I've geared it. And, well, starting right off with the 8 plus 1, it's only 9 gears. So, but I'm never really interested in just speeding and getting through it. For me, it's about a realistic experience. And sometimes that means driving slower. So, yeah, that tack is showing 13, but it's really 16 for me, so I don't need to switch. Once it gets down to about 1,000 RPMs on the truck, that's usually when I have to shift. That's usually when I'm around 1350, 1400, and I'll have to downshift. Need brake, need brake. Where are we turning? Turn left. She said that, I just forgot. Are we clear? Clear enough. There we go. Look at the visibility with those hood mirrors. I really like that. And you'd think that at that big, it'd actually impair your vision, and it doesn't. GPS location, I can just kind of look to the side. This is my normal placement with the default GPS location, and because they're so big, I can still see around it. I mean, I'm really just looking at more of the right part of that mirror as opposed to the left, so there's no conflict in that whatsoever. Cool to have the wipers up there. Radio option. Oh, I totally forgot to... I forgot something on the inside, guys. The visors up top, those visors can be changed. Maybe when we get done with the drive, I can show you that. Remember, there were 2 nodes when we were looking on the outside at first, and it said sun visor for both, but these are the actual visors in the on the inside. Those can change colors. Did they want me to pull in? I don't know. I'm missing that little blue thing on the dash that tells me whether I needed to go in or not. Not necessary. Can probably be done in an update. We're going to be slowing down, I'm thinking. Probably to 35. Well, 40 for now, which we're at. We're going to be slowing down probably to 30, 35, I would imagine, coming through here. There's 35. But we're going to be slowing down for this turn anyway. I wouldn't be surprised to see 30 up here. Yeah, there's 30. And we're just at 30. Perfect timing. As we're driving through where? Broadus. So we're up in Montana already. And we have... leave this up so you can see the gears. Hour and a half left. I'll show a little bit more on the outside, and then I will get back to you when we're dropping off. And then We are officially in Miles City. Go grab a pizza after this. Or a donut. But we're just right around the corner from dropping off. Overall, really good drive. No lagging. Really good on frames. Again, good mirror visibility. Didn't have any sort of glitches or anything like that. It was a pretty solid drive. Yeah, I've got no complaints. Put that together with a nice interior, animations and stuff. This is a solid truck. I would absolutely pay for this. So I think he's going to get a little bit of a donation. Let's go ahead and get some beacons on the trailer. Let them know we're coming to a stop. We got to go really wide with this because this trailer is long. And looks like we got simple parking right over here. Let's go ahead and get the windows down. Pause the track IR so you're not flying all over the place. Get our four-ways on. We'll pull it right in. We got to stick pretty close to this fence. It's a long trailer. Looks like we're doing pretty good though. I think they'll give it to us. We can clean it up a little bit though. There we go. And we'll just come back with it. Wish this horn was a little bit different, but nonetheless that's the way it is. Four ways and beacons are already on. Nice visibility with these mirrors. Loving it. Loving it. That should be good about right there. Okay. Parking brake. We'll get the beacons off. We'll leave the four ways on since we're kind of out in the middle of everything. Parking lights only. Get the track IR off. We'll leave the windows down and cut the engine. So that is it. Welcome to Miles City. Thanks for coming along on the drive. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below for this International 4300/Dina 800 from Faster Modding. A lot of cool options on this. Overall summary. A couple things that I've already mentioned need to be tightened up a little bit. Some of the build option labels and a little bit lower perspective when you're building stuff on the inside. Other than that, everything else is just, that can be done with updates. Solid truck overall. I wasn't expecting it to be this put together in a beta. I wasn't. And it's not because it has anything to do with Faster Modding. This is actually my first experience using Faster Modding. I just compare it to other trucks, and usually there's a few more kinks to work out in a beta. This is moving along pretty good. I'm very surprised, and thank you to Faster Modding for sending over the truck so I could take a look at it and go through all those build options. If you like what you saw here today, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you can see all my updates, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.